Anyway, okay. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
If you like this podcast, you can support it on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. High and tight. Nice and neat.
Yes.
Would you like to hear some hot sounds?
Yeah.
That I have recorded, specifically by our friend Mark?
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast series about Xenogears. Let us continue to recontextualize our memories and seek new truths about this video game, specifically the gates within this video game. The gates to your heart, Eric.
Heaven's Gate.
Yes, my name's Chris. Hey, Eric.
Heaven's Gate Nikes.
I like your Sonic shirt.
Thank you.
It looks good tonight.
Still wearing it 3 weeks later.
Yeah. Did you get it at Target?
My wife bought it for me for Christmas after I said it would be funny and piss Chris off.
At Target.
Yes.
They carried it at Target.
Yes.
I go to Target a lot.
I don't for some obvious reasons, but Target's okay.
I go there when I need to like walk around and look for like Sonic the Hedgehog action figures for my kids.
Buy a trash can.
Yeah. My kid said to me this weekend, he had some leftover Christmas money because we had to return some shit and we're at Target and I found a Dr. Eggman figure and he goes, I don't want Eggman.
I can't believe this.
Did he say, I want Robotnik, Dad?
No.
Damn it.
They only know him as Eggman. Sorry.
It happens. You gotta go with what's current, right?
Yep. Are we gonna do a podcast about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? No, we're not. Thank you. Is Eric still thinking?
Sure.
Okay. Have we ever recorded 3 episodes in one night?
No.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So we've destroyed 2 gates. The first one, we destroyed the gate of Margie. Margie wasn't there, but we destroyed the gate of the Ignis Cave gate, whatever. We destroyed the gate of
Babel.
But
it wasn't there.
It wasn't there. The mirror was there.
Right.
So
it was the midpoint.
Gate 3, the chapter is called The Deep. Is the gate from Gate 3 in the Deep?
I think it might be. Do you want to know what the actual title is?
There is no congruency in these gate chapter titles.
No.
I don't like it.
It's a perfect triangle, but it's not congruent.
No.
So, is it Under the Sea? Spoilers, this is like the 5th time I've called something Under the Sea.
It is. I noted that.
Is it Under the Sea?
Yeah.
Is it Deep Sea? Or is it The Depth?
Let's go with The Depth.
That is correct. The Depth.
I'm getting good at this.
The Depth is my favorite PS1 Dolphin game.
Okay, I didn't know there was a PS1 Dolphin game.
Yeah, it's called Depth. It's more of a music generator type thing.
Oh, cool. So yeah, we've got to arrive at the Thames, but did you do any exploring beforehand?
No, I went straight to the Thames.
Yeah, we've already pretty much done the Yggdrasil we possibly can.
Give me that Man of the Sea.
Screw Elevator Guy is still there.
Yeah.
He's still drunk.
That's just where that is what he does. His job is to drink and sleep there. Like, we've never seen this place at night, so we have to assume he retires there in the night. There's no nighttime Thames.
There's not much new dialogue on the Thames from what I found. Most of it is the same as it was post-Wells attack.
Yeah, it's for the drunk guy on the bridge still talks about the Wells, as if that's recent history for his mind brain.
Yeah, we'd have a bunch of new dialogue here if we didn't go there in the interim during some of these other sequences, because this is where like Hans is talking about his lost porpoise and stuff like that.
He's lost his porpoise.
Yeah, but we've already got all that, so...
That'll...
At this point, I just went straight to the captain, right?
Yes. The captain tells us our coordinates that we give him are at something called Sargasso Point.
Yeah, when you first talk to him, he's like, what do you need? And I'm like, I'm not here to order a sandwich, Captain. Mm-hmm. I'm here to talk to you about some shit.
There was no how are you like this. The Thames just got blown up like last week.
Yeah, it's weird. He asked Hans if point X1507 and Z1235 sound familiar.
Specific, sir.
Because we know that,
right?
I guess we told him that, and Hans says that like you said, Hans says that is Sargasso Point, a cave formed from microbes over many years. How the fuck does the captain know this?
He's a man of the sea, Chris.
This is beyond me.
He continues to say it's supposed to have hidden treasure, but no one has ever returned from there. So the story goes, the cave itself is alive.
Oh, that's
Chris,
certainly scary.
Do you know what Sargasso Point actually is?
No.
In our world.
Is it like the Lagrange point?
What's that?
I forgot. But it's something. It has to do with the moon or something.
Lagrange is 15 miles north, dog.
No, not the city or the, what is it, a city or is it a subdivision?
I think it's in, Bugnasty County. I don't know.
I don't know. They say it in Gundam a lot. Shit, they go to the space in Gundam a lot. This is a Gundam podcast, right?
It is not a Gundam podcast. I don't know what that is. Get your mobile suit
In
up.
celestial mechanics, the Lagrangian points are points near two large bodies in orbit where a smaller object will maintain its position relative to the large object.
Yeah, well, you're a large body
I'm better than the fake net.
in orbit.
Initializing fake net.
None of that made sense, asshole.
So let's ask the fake net what Sargasso point is.
Okay.
Initializing fake net.
Just kidding. We're not doing that. I already looked it up.
Oh, okay. You are offloading some of the processing power from the fake net. You do not need to send it to the cloud like Microsoft does to run Crackdown 3.
God. Jeez. They didn't even do it. They didn't even work. They canceled that shit. It's in the multiplayer. So, the Sargasso Sea is a region in the North Atlantic Ocean bounded by 4 currents forming an ocean.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's maybe a localization trick that they just took something that existed and made it something in this game.
AKA the Serpent Trench from Final Fantasy VI.
Or this is some Earth history being applied to a new planet.
Sure. The captain is going on and on about how he's going to outfit our gears with underwater gear, which I guess is the Bathyscapes or whatever we talked about last week.
It's to render them to handle the pressure from the descent.
Before the captain can do that, he's got to go wake up those winos.
Yeah, quote, those winos in order to service our gears.
I thought they drank beer on the Thames.
Man, they drink it all. You know there's every kind of spirit you desire is available down there.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm sure... Could you call people drunks in this game? Winos is a little bit more of a safe term.
I feel like we've said the word drunks a couple times.
Yeah, probably.
I'm nosh drunk.
I'm nosh drunk.
I'm
You're
nosh drunk right now, Eric.
So... when the captain is explaining this, Faye interrupts and finishes the Men of the Sea line, which the captain always does, and this delights the captain.
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves this shit.
He lives for it, actually.
So apparently whatever's being done to our gears is going to give us some new navigation controls.
Yeah, he gives us... I mean, we're 50 hours into this game, and we're getting new mechanics, so...
regular Death Stranding.
Sure. Sure. The captain also reminds us that they have some new booty to sell in the gear shop.
So Xenogears isn't a game where once something happens, all the shops have the new shit.
Yeah.
That you have to go to a specific shop, usually at the current point in the story, to buy your new stuff. So here's my next question.
Yeah?
Did you remember where the gear shop is?
No, but I assumed it was in the supply deck, or the supply dock, or whatever it's called.
That was my assumption as well.
Yes, and it is there.
Yeah, I didn't know if I had some memories of a guy just selling stuff or if there was an actual shop or what. I couldn't remember what the deal was.
There's a bunch of shops at the armor ground, but those are all just for regular items.
Yeah, like tents and stuff like that.
Yep.
So the gear shop has new stuff. I bought everything for everyone except for Maria and Bart, who still have parts so advanced you can't buy that shit.
You know what we forgot
Except,
to do? Oh, go ahead.
I didn't buy Rico anything.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I just upgraded the gears of the characters that I am going to be sending out to the next mission.
Mm-hmm. But you said we forgot something? We overlooked something?
Yeah, well, we should have played speed cards with Choo-Choo.
That's a good... Oh, wow. Yeah.
Should we do that next week? Okay.
There's some card games available throughout this game, but yeah, if you can go back to the Thames, I think we're nearing actually at this chapter like the point of no return for exploring this world map. So we should probably make some kind of note to go do that and lose to get that choo-choo dialogue.
Or Maria.
Yeah, Maria. I don't even know what she sounds like. So yeah, after that, did you do anything else in the Thames?
No, not really. Once we go back to the Yggdrasil, Sigurd is going to autopilot us to the Sargasso point. I have zero memory of diving into the ocean.
Yeah, they just told us we couldn't do that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's about a certain depth and whatnot, right? But yeah, there's a kind of is it a cutscene with an engine cutscene where it autopilots down there and then submerges?
Yep.
So here's the funny thing. Once you get down there, if you want to, you can actually go back to the Yggdrasil and then you leave, because when you enter back down, it does the exact same cutscene of you getting back down.
Oh, really?
So if you wanted to, you could leave and go wherever. Like if you didn't buy the right gear parts or something like that, there is an escape route. So yeah, we go to our new location, an actual bona fide dungeon, Sargasso Point.
Yes. Hello, Medusoids, my old friends. There are Medusoids down here.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't find any of those.
That was the first thing I ran into was a Medusoid.
And the first thing I thought was a death scythe.
Oh, yeah, those guys are here too. The Medusoids seemed like they're not the same Medusoids that we fought in the...
So they do more than 12 damage?
Yeah, well, I mean, they take a couple of turns to kill. So maybe not. I don't know. This swimming thing. Are we okay with the swimming thing where you have to mash triangle?
Yeah,
It has a very good whooshy water sound.
Yeah, the dungeon now has a Z-axis.
Yeah.
Which it compensates like by allowing our jump to act as like an infinite jump booster that can keep getting higher and higher if it weren't inhibited by the ceiling.
I mean, it's Mario swimming.
Oh yeah, it's Mario swimming. Yeah, it has those kind of sinking rules applied to it. Did you find any other unique enemies down here?
Yeah. Before I did, I spent a lot of time in this particular evening I was playing, getting my my game to look nice with my PlayStation Classic. Getting the resolution nice.
Father's tinkering with his junk.
Yes, Father was tinkering with his junk down in the basement. PS Classic. Everything looks really nice.
Are you running that on the built-in emulator or through RetroArch on the inside of that?
The built-in emulator.
Okay.
Only because
that's what I use.
Only because the save states and everything is a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's snappier.
And it was easier for me to import save files. Anyway, I did all that. It was looking nice. I got down to this part, and because I guess of all that water whooshing effect, it just fucking blanks everything out. I can't see shit.
Cool.
So I had to revert everything back to its default state, and then I went back into fake CRT mode and roll with it from there. Then I encountered some Merman gears.
Yes, known from our Battle Arena podcast.
Yeah, it was a good podcast. We thought that maybe these guys were like Thames gears, but they're just gears.
They're just down here.
They're just down here. Okay, are they piloted by Solaris agents that are trying to prevent us from getting here?
I don't see them as being piloted. I see them as being an autonomous defense system.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if gears can even do that.
Specifically defending the gate.
Yeah, because you have to understand, this is like a Solaris vulnerability point. There have to be some kind of defense mechanisms.
They could.
Other than the strange current.
They could be an automatic defense system because we now know that Solaris specifically has the capability of implanting human consciousness within gears.
Actually, yeah.
So this might be Larry and Steve and Stan from the bar, whose brains were co-opted to put into the gears, and now they're here to beat ass.
Yeah, you either get co-opted or made into a well.
Sure, why not?
So the Merman fire the missile off their backs, and it does 5,000 damage.
Oh, really?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Oh, that must not happen to me.
Oh, it happened to me. And I've got like 12,000 hit points at this point. It's like, dude, oh my God. That's why I had to go back to the Yggdrasil to heal all that shit up.
Okay. So
both the Death Scythe and the Merman, I don't know about the Medusoids, but people down here pack a punch, man.
Yeah.
Did you find any cool equipment?
I did. There's this kind of like wild part where you have to like brute force your way through the current pushing you.
Yeah.
And once you get through there, you can get through the into this like
a grotto.
That's not the word I was looking for, but I'm going to use it. I ascended into a grotto, and I found a dark rod.
Oh, okay.
Which I gave to Ellie.
I found some mermaid mail in a different grotto.
Also, I think at some point I found a Death Blower 2.
Yeah, there's a Death Blower 2 right before the boss fight.
Yeah.
But they're like, at some point you have to fight an actual jet stream, and you have to time your jumps between like the pulses of the jet stream, or else you can't get down the right corridor.
I just brute forced it. I just mashed it.
Dude, I tried forever, and then it would push me back. I would get in a random battle, and then I would try to go back, and then I would miss the timing. This took me a long time.
It's annoying.
Yeah. Not a great design. I see what they were going for here, but not good execution, guys.
I think this is the time in which RPGs were diverging from only doing a single thing.
Yeah.
Whereas you saw a little of this in Final Fantasy VI,
like with the minecart stuff,
the minecart and the serpent trench stuff. There was a first person navigation through a trench.
What, like I don't remember that part at all. Was it?
It was a
corridor type thing.
Yeah, it was a Mode 7 corridor. First person.
Yeah, all I gotta say is Mode 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a little bit of that shit in Final Fantasy VI. A lot of that shit in Final Fantasy VII, which was being developed simultaneously as this, with like having things like the chocobo racing and
had a rail shooter in it,
snowboarding, and
the speed, the roller coaster thing.
Yeah. So I think that was kind of, I don't know this for a fact, but it feels to me like that was just sort of the thing at the time.
It's a pacing trick
where you tried to, exactly. You tried to create these pacing tricks to put new mechanics into the game.
Yeah, you want to use your new medium effectively.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's not too bad. Like, I enjoyed the swimming and stuff like here, but some of the brute forcing of the current system was not necessarily something that felt fun or earned.
So eventually we get sucked off to that grotto with the Death Blower 2.
We do get sucked off.
That's right, Chris.
Sometimes when you get sucked off, though, you encounter a salvager. Did you encounter a salvager?
No, I didn't encounter any salvagers.
Salvagers.
What do they do?
I don't know what they do. They
salvage, Chris.
I was like, okay, maybe they're fixed bots.
Oh, okay. So did you try like not attacking them and see if they would fix you?
And
Did they
kept
salvage you?
digging in the fucking rocks and the sand over and over again. Eventually, I decided to start attacking it, but it said that the salvager found an item in the ground.
What'd you get?
I don't know because I tried to kill it, but I didn't kill it in time, and then it ran away.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Initializing fake net.
Despite your earlier behavior, I found this information for you from a poster named Ultra over at GameFAQs. Salvagers dig for items when in battle, and then eventually run away. If you kill them after they pick up an item, you can get that item as a drop. These items include gold nugget, gold bullion, insulated AR, and heavy alloy.
So I guess
I like the idea of like there being defense robots and then robots that are also just looking for treasure down there in this legendary Sargasso point.
It's weird.
That's nice. That adds some character to it.
Yeah.
But right after I got like I was trying to capture, after I played this, I was trying to capture some sound clips down here. And the person, the Let's Player that I was watching, was on a menu screen that I'd never seen before.
Oh?
And that's when I realized that if you have the gear fuel healer thing on, you can access that outside of battle.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
What?
I didn't know that shit. He was burning fuel, but he was healing his gear outside of battle with that stuff.
Oh.
So, pro tip, you can do that. I didn't actually play with it since then, but the option's got to be there in those arcane menu systems.
You only have to record 32 and a half podcasts about this video game to learn that, apparently.
I would have really liked that information because you always burn a turn in battle when you're trying to do that stuff.
Exactly.
And those turns are precious.
Huh. Wow. Did you get to the grotto where you opened two treasure chests?
Yeah.
One was an item and one was a like a switch.
It shut off the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then once you get through that stream, that area is delineated by like a seaweed type substance that is over top.
Yeah,
of
some killer kelp.
Yeah, so that helps you understand that, like, oh wait, I am actually progressing.
Yeah, it's a different area. Like,
so I appreciated that because there's a lot of areas in this game where you don't really understand exactly where you are.
I think there were some kind of limitations where they have to keep the palette tight. Like I was thinking about Metal Gear Solid 2, where Big Shell had a very specific palette to like make it 60 frames a second and kind of do some tricks to increase performance. And if you look at a lot of the environments in Xenogears, there's no Lisa Frank posters floating around here, right? Like it's all pretty not monochromatic but homogeneous. Yeah. So the kelp is a nice way of signifying that.
Yeah, that's true. Anything else before we open that final door?
No, that's it. Either June Mermaid or October Mermaid plays. We're going to go October Mermaid this time.
I'm going June Mermaid, but okay.
It's the live version. It's October Mermaid. Damn it.
Okay.
I love this song.
It is a great song.
It's very contemplative. It's slow. It's nice. It's almost precious. Like it's almost like the Emeralda is not a little kid, but it's almost like kind of an infantile anthem in a different way than the orphanage music was.
But Emeralda is a little kid at first.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like she's older than all of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like there's wonder and invitation in there as opposed to just little kiddedness.
Yes, and then we are treated to the sight of a very thin, feminine-looking gear with small angel wings.
We see a portrait for the first time.
Yes, we see a portrait, and it is the green-haired girl, and she offers to kill us.
She says, "I will ... kill you ... Okay.
Okay, I mean, has Krellian programmed her? He talked about her a lot.
Yeah, you have to understand, like, she's been in custody of Solaris nefarious goons for, like, at least a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's clearly got some instructions here. Krellian, somebody got her down here.
And her body has been sort of dissipated into nanomachines up until that point until when Ellie or Citan pressed the button on the thing and resumed her existence.
And, like, is this gear hers, or is it one they gave her? I don't think we know that, do we?
I don't think we necessarily know that, but...
And we know important people have gears in this game.
But I don't think that, based on what we learn later in this sequence, I don't think that she necessarily existed outside of the tube.
Yeah, that's true.
Up until now.
That's true. Unless, like, that was her thing. Oh, yeah, that's right. If she was always there.
I feel like the gear, this particular gear we know doesn't have an Omni-Gear version of itself.
It was planned.
It was cut, yeah. So I'm just going to assume this is an Omni-Gear that they gave her.
Okay. Yeah, we'll roll with that then.
Yeah.
Okay. Something that I didn't remember at all.
No, like a lot of things have taken me aback in this video game, but nothing has taken me aback maybe quite as much by this next sequence, because we're introduced like as soon as you open this door. June Mermaid plays. If you're paying close attention, like we are, we know that we're about to fight the June Mermaid. We're about to fight the green hair girl because she's in a gear. Let's go. But before we are allowed, before we are treated to a boss battle, another gear descends from the sky. I wrote down here that this gear makes me unwell.
Chris is rubbing his temples right now.
Yeah, I've been rubbing my temples for a while.
It's a mysterious gear drops in. It has a big sphere hammer for a hand and a big shield. It almost looks like a ramp.
He's got a fucking face.
Rust in color. He has a face, and the first thing he says is, "How do you do?"
How do you do? I am Rattan. Is it Rattan? Rattan?
Rattan, one of the followers of Krellian. Please excuse me. I'd like to show you my face, but...
He explains that because of his human-machine fusion...
And then he trails off.
It cannot show his face. He is explaining why he's a non-portrait character.
Yes.
He's like, I don't got a
That
face.
is some deep, enrooted stuff. So here's the thing. Chris and I did a podcast for Patreon, for patrons, about where we talk about all the important gears in the game and compare them and what's cooler or whatnot, whatever. I got the information from the Battle Arena and from all the wikis, even the wikis on minor gears, because I haven't played the full game yet. This gear was not in that.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I was speaking with my brother about this part because he heard our Patreon episode, and he's like, yeah, you didn't talk about those gears. He couldn't think of its name, but he was describing this gear and another gear.
Like most giant robots have a face where they're like, most of the time they have like a Optimus Prime style mouth plate.
Yeah.
And then they have like glowing eyes.
Yeah.
But this thing has the eyeballs that Pokemon have when they get knocked out. Where they're all like swirly and shit.
And his head's rotating like a punch out character and they're waiting for a death blow.
Yeah, he's shit. Yeah, he's smoked all the weed and he's just
he's high as shit. He's mellow.
Yeah.
Like he's not really here to fight, he's here to observe. I think it's interesting that he calls himself a follower of Krellian.
So he's the natural or the mass-produced version of basically of the Oxen, right?
Right.
Where like the research that Nikolai Balthazar completed was implemented to create this
Rattan.
living gear man person guy dude.
Yeah, because he doesn't say I'm, Bart and this is my gear. Whatever Bart, I can't think of his gear's name right now.
And Bart and
sure,
and
this is just me. That's it. I am Rattan. This is Rattan. We're Rattan.
He says something about like our current task is totally about the inspection of the evidence.
Yeah, he insists he's just an inspector.
Yeah, it'll ruin everything if someone as dead to the world as he appeared here, which I don't know.
It's good that we brought Maria, because Maria cuts him off and says she knew it wasn't Ramses, but that this gear is an evolved version of her father's project.
Oh,
So,
I didn't bring Maria.
oh, you didn't?
No.
Shit, I did. Who'd you bring?
I didn't write it down.
The study guide had a note for this, and the study guide assumed you brought Citan, and that Citan implies that Krellian sent this guy and not Ramses. So that's what that line is referring to. Is it wants to be made clear that this is not any of Ramses's. You know how the last gate encounter was Ramses's element distribution?
Yeah.
This is Krellian's defense idea.
I don't remember who I brought. I know I brought Ellie. That's all I know.
Cool. Well, I imagine there was some similar version of that dialogue.
Yeah.
So what is unique about this upcoming boss fight? What music plays?
Yeah. At that point, it pans back to Emeralda, who we can now assume is that's the green hair girl's name.
Right.
She's going to kill us.
Emerald green hair.
It breaks to the battle, and we are still hearing June Mermaid. And this is like, I would describe it as beautiful.
Yes, I love serene boss fight music.
Yes, especially because we know that this is going to, like, just from playing this game before, we know this is going to turn into a relationship that is not antagonistic.
Right.
Because we know that Emeralda is soon to be on our side.
In her gear so far, it doesn't have arms. It has wings that function, that like make hand motions as arms. And this is the most angelic gear we've seen so far, with like Bayonetta angelic, where it's threatening and menacing, but also kind of heavenly.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't actually notice that the Crescents, which is the name of the gear, did not have arms until this moment. Like, I had always just assumed there were small arms there, but they're not.
Oh, no, yeah, they're wings that are,
Yeah, they're just
like
wings.
in the amorphous shape of arms.
Yeah, it was at this point in which, during this boss battle, that I realized that the Ellie Aerod's min-max thing is unfair, and it's making me not like the game as much.
Because you're abusing a tactic?
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
Cheaters never win, Chris.
I did this because I wanted to see the natural extension of what people and speedrunners have come to find out is the best tactic for this game, but it's not making the game fun for me. It's kind of like in Fire Emblem Three Houses, how the game, the difficulty curve in that game is not quite up to snuff if you've played those kinds of games before, and it becomes less fun later in the game. So I am no longer going to employ this tactic after this battle.
Tactic being abandoned.
Yes.
So, like all of our hero gears, Crescents has some unique locomotion noises.
Yeah.
And she also has some unique attacks where, just by context, she demonstrates her strength by one of her moves. She picked up Cybzon over her head and tossed it above her head and dropped that motherfucker.
Oh, wow.
So the thing's strong. She also has an attack where she drops a 3x3 grid of magic cubes on her head.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Okay.
And then with its wings, when its wings are extended all the way up, it's physically taller than Cybzon is too. So it's a big gear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then at some point, it fills the screen with light that pans over the surface of the moon, and everyone gets $3,000 worth of damage.
Oh, thank you, $3,000.
Did I say dollars?
Yes.
Jesus. 3,000 whatever of damage.
Yes, points.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I just said dollars. That's fucked up.
It happens.
Okay, so after the battle,
we think in HP.
Emeralda says something weird after the battle's over.
Oh, yeah?
No more "I will kill you" with Rattan. She just says KI.M ?
Yeah, the song keeps playing, by the way.
Yes, June Mermaid continues.
Over. Yeah. Rattan also starts talking about the release of a memory.
Yeah, right. He says this turned out just as Krellian said.
It is a manifestation of the imprinting. At any rate, it is proven. With that, excuse me.
He needs to go to report the result. He just leaves. He's like,
he says,
very good.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he's very polite, Chris. He's like, imagine if old Mason got transformed into a gear. Perhaps like Rattan's Mason's like long lost relative or something.
Yeah.
Decorum is very important in all of his interactions.
Yeah. Rattan also tells us that please take this girl because she is our daughter. Did you get that?
Yeah, she says, after all, she said, yeah, tell us to take the girl and use her however we like, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
And then, after all, she is your daughter.
Okay.
The daughter's in quotations. So then light shoots out the water as we surface. The Yggdrasil sweeps by in extremely cool fashion to come pick us up.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the part that this is what Krillin was talking about during the last Gazel Ministry sequence. He spoke about how he was going to use Emeralda against the contact and the anti-type to create a reaction, and perhaps the scene that we're about to talk about is that particular reaction. Who knows? But yes, explosions happen. She screams, Emeralda, and the scene fades to white and the gate blows the fuck up.
Is there an actual scream like the Ellie scream?
No, I think it's
just on the screen.
I think it's a text-based scream.
Okay.
Yeah. We're there. We're back at the gun room.
We're at the Idrisil.
Hey.
There's a green-haired girl parading around the gun room screaming Kim over and over. It's weird. Faye's
very, very confused.
Faye says, what the hell is it saying? He doesn't even gender the thing.
Yeah. Which, I mean, okay, Faye.
Ellie has a suggestion for us.
Ellie wants to know if Faye resembles someone that Emeralda knows. And Emeralda says, what do you mean by resemble? Kim is Kim.
Right.
This is
clear as day.
Fucking Kim.
Emeralda is ecstatic that Kim is really here.
Yes.
She says, I thought I was dreaming. The person in my dream. Yes, Kim, I was dreaming. A long, long dream. Which is her lack of consciousness or perhaps material presence for 4,000 years or whatever.
Yeah, perhaps. Ellie deduces that Kim is probably this Faye-looking ass guy.
Yeah.
Or a Faye-looking ass guy.
Faye tries to distance himself from this.
We only know one Faye-looking ass guy, and that is the scientist Faye.
Well, no, there's the painter for the Sophia picture, right?
Yeah, that's true. That was Lacan, right?
Yeah, and then there's evil young Faye in those anime cutscenes.
But we do know that the Faye-looking ass guy was protecting the girl in the tube during that raid of the soldiers during that flashback.
Right.
So that Kim is likely that guy, right?
But Faye still tries to whenever he says it's not real, Emeralda just says, Faye's Kim. Not Faye is Kim, it's hyphenated. Faye's Kim.
Yeah. Faye is certain that he is not Kim, and then we get some precursors of like the away message, the AOL.
I was going to say, yeah, you're going to bring that up.
Like Faye is Kim, Kim is Faye. I got to find all that shit later, but
there's record of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like when we first started hanging out, Faye is Kim is shit. We used to just yell at each other for no reason.
Yeah, just because we were trying to figure out what the hell this game was going on.
Yeah, it was a lot back then. It's a lot now, clearly.
Obviously.
For a stupid podcast. Ellie, as soon as Ellie talks, Emeralda says, don't bother me, who is this old lady?
Yeah.
And then Ellie suggests that we bury her back on the ocean floor.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's really good.
Let's bury this child. Citan is there too, by the way. I don't know if you knew this or not, but he is. He's there.
Yeah, he pulls someone to the side and says, I doubt Krellian acted on his own to use her as a disposable soldier.
He explains that for her, Kim means more than just a name.
Right.
Maybe like father.
Emeralda makes Faye promise to stick around for a long time.
Sure.
And then at some point, I forget if Emeralda says this, but Kim calls her Emeralda because she has emerald hair.
Ah.
Citan also resolves to find Solaris before Krellian can use the information he got from this, which I guess Rattan's taking that back up? Or is
well,
it already...
also Krellian had implied earlier during the last Gazel Ministry sequence that he had all the data he needed from Emeralda.
Yeah, so I don't know what...
I think he just released her to us because she's confusing us.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
it's a lot, like a little shit to deal with.
I think at some point Emeralda explains that she was dreaming about how she was in a tube, and Kim was putting many candles on a soft white confection. She didn't know why, but she sensed that she was coming out of the tube. She disappeared and her body was gone.
That's weird.
So that makes me think that...
She's done acid?
Well, somebody's done acid, but in this particular instance, I think that she was about to be released from the tube because Kim created her. Kim was going to release her into the physical world, but that's when that raid of soldiers occurred.
Right.
And then somebody pressed a button that caused her to disperse into the millions of nanomachines.
Yeah.
And then she didn't become whole again until we got back down to the bottom of the ocean and pressed the fucking buttons.
And played October Mermaid.
June Mermaid, whatever. So, yeah.
What happens next? What kind of transmission do we receive?
Well, yeah.
We get a telegram.
Fucking telegram. Telegram. Transmission?
Do you guys have email?
You guys got email. We got email from Shavat. It's here. Solaris has been found.
Excuse me, sir. A city that may be Solaris.
A city.
I don't want to call out an invisible city that's not Solaris.
A city that may be Solaris. Sorry.
So then something extremely cool happens.
Yes. We're kind of... I think we're back in the world map environment.
It's the world map. It's that big mass of polygons.
Yeah.
And Shavat...
He meant to say Solaris.
Blurs into existence like a TV being turned on.
Sure. A pillar of light. It's a tower. It's like a giant monolith.
Yeah, it's a white pillar to the sky.
Yeah, but it zooms in, the game itself, it zooms in, and Jaws of Ice begins to play. And things get scary for a moment, and the camera sort of pans down the monolith to sort of emphasize its importance and
it's
its
a massive structure.
It's huge. Then it transforms.
Yeah, the side opens to reveal 8 sinister spider legs with a small beam in the middle.
Wasn't there a giant satellite being in one of the Michael Bay Transformers movies?
Are you asking me to recall anything from those movies? Are you serious right now?
Wasn't there a giant satellite transformer in one of the Michael Bay Transformers movies?
I'm not going to respond to this.
I think there was.
I know that it was Soundwave, but I don't remember that.
Are you sure it was
100%
Soundwave?
it was Soundwave.
Fuck. No. Shockwave?
No.
Really?
95% certainty. Fake net, help us out.
No.
Now we're
Those, can we, that Michael Bay, that's no longer a reference point. We're striking that from the record. I don't want to acknowledge, we can talk about pain and gain all day, but I'm not talking about the Transformers movies.
Okay. Fine. We're in Shavat now.
We're going back to Shavat.
Yeah, the Queen's telling us we have located Solaris. That big thing we just solved. The satellite. Shockwave, Soundwave, whatever it is. It's Solaris.
Yeah, Zephyr tells us what to do. Citan says we should use Cybzon's cannon to distort space and neutralize the gate for a brief moment, what?
That's not what he says.
Okay.
That's not what he says. He said he's got a plan. We need to use this 13-year-old girl to kill the Nazis. That's what he says.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Maria is Anne Frank.
He's dead. She didn't make it through the war. Someone ratted her out.
Alternate
Somebody
history.
narked her out, Chris.
Alternate history, Anne Frank, where she kills all the Nazis.
All right.
Our Solaris.
So it's Wolfenstein and Frank then, all right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just saying that Citan's primary verb to contact or to attack Solaris is a 13-year-old girl, which is a little fucked up.
Yeah, My own daughter won't talk to me. I must co-opt a new one.
Indeed. But yes, she's got particle cannons. There's another gate there, by the way. We've got to destroy that gate.
For a brief moment.
We've got to go in small groups.
Yeah, Citan...
Hold on. If we destroy the gate, we're already there.
Uh-huh.
We have to go in there to destroy the gate.
Yeah.
So why do we need to destroy the gate?
So backup can come in?
Who's the backup?
Rico.
Because don't give me that like Shavat is going to come, because we've seen one Shavat.
Shavat's depleted.
We've seen one Shavat gear to this point.
Listen, man, do you want to blow stuff up or do you want to keep it standing? The more shit we can blow up, the better, okay?
But I thought we only had to destroy the gate for a brief moment.
Chris, the world's going to fucking end.
Okay.
We're going to do whatever we want to get this done.
Okay, so suspending disbelief.
Thank you. Citan handpicks the team for a very good reason. Who does he pick?
He picks himself.
Of course.
He picks Ellie.
Solaris native.
Yes, and he picks Faye. Do you know why he picked these three characters?
Because they're the main characters of this video game?
Well, not necessarily, but they are the three characters that we have at this point that do not have resolved arcs.
This is true.
With the exception of, I think, one more thing is going to happen with Rico later in the game, but like pretty much everybody else is done at this point.
Yeah.
Except for Emeralda, but we don't have her yet.
So from there, we go to the Shavat gazebo.
What?
There's like a hilltop kind of...
No, we're not there yet.
Okay.
During the party selection moment, there is some like teenage awkwardness that is going on.
Oh, yeah?
Because Faye's like, I'm going because my girlfriend's going.
He says girlfriend?
No. But he says, Citan tells...
Citan's trying to mack on a side piece.
No.
What?
Citan first drafts Ellie into the team, and Citan and Faye's like, I gotta go because she's going, and then it gets,
he doesn't trust Citan not to do some fucked up shit.
It gets weird for a second.
Okay.
Because Ellie then thinks that Faye's going because Faye's
in love with Citan.
Yeah,
Got it.
No,
yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you to our patrons. Yeah. Basically, there's a moment of teen awkwardness between the Faye and Ellie relationshipers out there. So let's
it's good. It's good to actually check in with their relationship progress.
Yes.
As opposed to just limited cutscenes in the middle of an ocean and then sabotage on the Yggdrasil, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Apparently, we're going to have a chance to get ready, but before we do that, we have to have a moment.
We have a moment, a moment that I forgot happened and didn't expect.
I did not forget this moment at all. This is a moment. Can I tell you something?
Yeah, sure, Chris. This is what we're here for.
Before we start this podcast, if you were to ask me who my favorite Xenogears character is or was, who do you think that would be?
I think you're going to say Citan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is a big process for you here.
Yes, this is a huge process for
Probably
me.
would have been mine too, honestly.
Yeah. And we are having a moment at the top of the gazebo. This is the same gazebo in which Maria had a moment, I think.
This is in Shavat. Yeah, it's like the top of a hill type thing.
Yeah. And Citan is having a conversation with his wife, Yui.
What kind of music is it playing?
I texted you the other day to ask you if you knew, and you told me, and I forgot to write it down.
Well, thankfully, I'm holding my telephone right here, Chris. Let me not ask the fake net, because we're trying to break our dependency on this. Treasure which cannot be stolen.
The treasure which cannot be stolen is playing during this sequence. Citan is having a conversation with Yuri in which he is indicating his wife, indeed. He has chosen his own path. And when he said he has chosen his own path, does this mean he is no longer working for Kane? Is he no longer accessing the JPEGs?
I would say that sounds like a definitive statement, but the next scene calls that into question. But Yui says, you're going to Solaris, aren't you?
Yeah. She says, you will be hurt. They will also be hurt.
Right. Citan's going to cause some damage, dude.
I think she's implying that everybody else is going to find out that Citan is a double agent.
Yeah, basically. Citan's bringing a weapon to the club.
Yes.
He agrees, but he says he has no other path to choose.
Yes. He says, if I happen to be overcome by the dark side, at that point I have already, and then he trails off.
So I didn't know at this point there was a struggle within Citan. I thought he was acting of his own motivations, that he knew he had a plan, not that he had two plans he was picking between. Is Citan actually a double agent?
I think Citan actually is a double agent. Are you thinking otherwise?
I don't know. I don't know if he's actually struggling with his mission or if he's struggling with being a double agent, or is this all some kind of performative show to give Yui an alibi to provide some kind of cover for him?
Because I think within the next sequences of this video game, we're going to learn about how Citan came to be who he is. Is that true?
I think so.
Or is that some perfect workshop?
We get a piece of honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out.
Delineated here. But Yui says, don't say anything more. I already know. And she moves closer to Citan. And then she says something awesome.
Yeah?
Now, here, this is your sword. Please, please come back alive. And she gives him a fucking sword.
She gives him a
their
fucking
sprites
sword.
move closer again.
Yeah. This was the moment when it all came rushing back to me.
How good this scene was?
How good the scene was, how much I liked Citan, and how much I sort of love him, even though we have grown to hate him over the course of this podcast because of the way he has sort of treated people.
Is he manipulating Yui to get his goddamn sword?
I hadn't thought about that angle, but maybe. But maybe she is manipulating him and saying, take this sword and reaffirm, like...
Test your old life.
Like, your vow is no longer to your emperor. Your vow is to your sword, and your sword is what is right. Your sword is the way of the Bushido, basically. Follow what is right and not what is...
He has the sword in Roger Rabbit that starts singing the Frank Sinatra song when it gets pulled out.
That's a different interpretation, but yes.
Okay.
But yeah, this was the moment when it all came rushing back to me of why I like this character and how I sort of felt bad about trashing him along the way to get to this point.
He earned it. You shouldn't feel bad.
No, I shouldn't feel bad because the way he's interacting with people along the way, but it does make me sort of excited to see his arc conclude and to try to reassess my feelings at that moment.
So Citan has one more line. He faces Yui and says to take care of Midori. Yui gets close, nods, and the camera pans to the clear blue sky.
Yeah.
So he acknowledged his daughter. That's good.
He acknowledges his daughter.
She has been taking care of Midori, sir.
Yeah. Well, let's take a step back for a second. I mean, fucking Choo-Choo has more of a connection with Citan's daughter than Citan does. So
yeah.
So I mean,
but maybe
he's not perfect.
Maybe with the children's telepathy, perhaps she doesn't know her father's a double agent. Right?
Yeah.
So that's where that sensory comes from.
That's true.
So then we go to a hallway.
Yeah, it's a cool angle.
It's a great hallway. I think it's like the depths that we were traversing on that dungeon raid down here.
Yeah, I think so.
Who's in the hallway?
It is a cool angle. We're seeing Citan's back, and Jesse is looking out of a window or something. His back is turned, and the camera kind of pans around. Like, I think Jesse's first line of dialogue doesn't have the portrait there, and then as it kind of pans around, and you kind of see his face if this was like a television show.
Yeah,
and then his portrait appears, and Jesse's like, "Yeah, I'm going to."
Yeah, he says he's going to, which is like, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's going to Solaris. The camera pans around. Jesse's like, don't expect me to help your fucking ass.
Yeah, he doesn't know what Citan is thinking or what he's trying to do.
Jesse is going to kill Citan.
Yeah, he says, but if you take their side, I'll kill you without a doubt, even from the back.
Their side, I guess, is the Solaris side, I guess.
Yeah, and Citan has a curious reply.
He says, yeah, I'm counting on that. I am counting on being murdered if he does the wrong.
Yeah,
if I do the wrong thing.
Like, is he counting on being murdered or counting on Jesse staying true, or like, is that a?
I think he's counting on being murdered. I think he's showing his samurai ass here.
Okay, yeah,
where
honor.
If his honor, if his actions sort of go contrary to what the honorable action is here, then he expects Jesse to shoot him in the fucking back with his
Jesse Cannon
shotgun,
his bunt line. He'll put Citan in this suicide robot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to downgrade. I'm going to go back to version 8.5.
I mean, there's probably some prototypes in Solaris, right?
Yes,
so he's got some.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. He shows.
Jesse laughs and says, "This is discouraging." Which, what does that mean? Like that Citan's going, or that he's going to shoot him? He doesn't care. Like what? Where does the discouragement come from?
I think the discouragement is that Jesse does not quite fully understand, or at least accept the fact that Citan is going to fully go down the path that he says he's going to go down. Like, he's not all the way on Team Faye yet.
Okay.
And it's discouraging that, like, you're not all the way there, so you're expecting me to kill you. Like, if Jesse wasn't going to be discouraged, then Citan would have said, okay, I'm full Team Faye, I'm anti-Solaris, I'm no longer a Nazi, I'm moving forward with this. But Citan doesn't explicitly say that. He's still conflicted at this point.
Was Jesse aware that Citan was playing both sides the whole time?
He has to be, right?
Yeah. Does that mean that maybe Sigurd's aware too, since they're all the elements? Like, was this like a part of a grand plan?
That's interesting. It'll be fun to find out if whether or not Sigurd
Any of that pays off?
has anything to say about this down the line. I suspect probably not, but maybe.
If it's your first time playing, figuring out if Rams is in on this too would be an interesting play.
Yeah.
As like all the other elements. Probably not, considering they all dissed him, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ramses' subplot sort of
It's a divergent thing.
is sort of diverged into, like, I just want to beat Faye.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what is consumed.
He's Vegeta now.
The fight is all that matters. So that's all I've got.
Yeah, that's the end of Gate 3. The Deep.
Those are some words. Yep.
The Deep. We've been to the Deep. Weird.
Next time we're going into Solaris.
We are?
That's
Are
the
we
chapter
there?
title.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going there. Finally. Some things are going to be figured out. So yeah, is that it?
That's all.
You're done?
We're it.
Talk.
Shepard.
You're done? Shepard? Stay tuned. Outtakes. We have some coming because we recorded 3 episodes in one night, so I'm sure they happened.
Were they
Twitter.
all? Yes.
Twitter.com.
.com.
At Retro Amnesia Pod. Follow us there, please, if you'd like. Mark, thank you for that intro track. It sounds good still to this day after 33
Years.
episodes. Patreon.com/RetroAM if you would like to support us. Email us at retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. We can read that. Sure. Subscribe.
You know what? I'm going to take over for Chris here. Subscribe to this podcast so that we know you exist. And until next time, Chris, say my line.
Yes, we shall. We will. We will. My fist is the divine breath. Yes, we will kill God.
You may go back to sleep.
Jesus, boys, don't ever do 3 in one night again.
My dad posted this. It's weird because my dad is not a right-wing person, but he posted this
Boomer.
boomer-esque meme today about like how like millennial cornhole boards have larger holes.
Is that even true?
No, it was like some sort of like old person onion type article.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And I commented, I said, the holes are larger because of the world you have left us to live in.
Do you want me to have like a pants signal?
Am I still doing it? Should I just go change my pants?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, like if you've worn those pants every time.
No, I don't. Because I have like 2 or 3 pairs of sweatpants that I wear, and these are the ones that are just... I specifically put these on because I was giving my kids showers tonight. And
I've got it. Trade me pants. I'll wear your pants.
no, I'm just going to put my... Hold on. I'm going to spread eagle here.
Do not take your pants off.
I'm not... No. I'm not taking my pants off. No, I'm putting my legs on the outside.
Okay, there you go. That's a great
I'll probably need to
pose.
stretch anyway.
Man spread.
Man spreading. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
I appreciate everybody that has signed up for our Patreon. Now we're just...
Can we... That Michael Bay, that's no longer a reference point. We're striking that from the record. I don't want to acknowledge... We can talk about pain and gain all day, but I'm not talking about the Transformers movies.
Okay. Fine.
The Rock cuts off somebody's hands and grills them.
What
in
about
that
the one
movie.
with John Cena?
Oh, okay. I heard that was good. I didn't see it.
It is good.
Okay. Well, Michael Bay didn't make that, so...
Exactly. Thank you, Michael Bay, for not making my...
Executive producer.
Movies. Thank you. Deep breath, everybody.
We went to see Peter Cullen at BotCon.
Did we actually see him there?
Yeah, he was signing autographs. We didn't pay for that, but we saw him signing autographs.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
remember being like, it's fucking Peter Cullen. And I remember there was a sign saying you weren't allowed to ask him to do the Optimus Prime voice.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like a paid for thing. Like he's a voice actor, that's his trade, and you're paying for his autograph, you're not paying for his service.
Shit. Well, cons, man. I must have been drinking when I wrote these notes because I wrote instead of writing hello, instead of writing Gate 3 the Deep, I wrote hello, it's Gate 3 the Deep.
What?
These fucking people.
I just feel like that should be marked in the airport, like with a plaque. Okay.
At the UCB.
Yeah.
Hell's Kitchen. And we saw our house team perform. And one of the acts was based on this girl in the audience story telling about like how somebody lost a jacket. It was like a really bad story to tell for somebody to come up with the improv thing.
All right.
And so it wasn't going well. And so one of the improv guys who's in the back and was not in the current scene just came up to the conversation and said, "Hey, I'm a ghost." I absolutely lost my shit.
He said, "Hey, I'm a ghost."
Like he inserted
It's a good save, yeah.
He inserted himself into the conversation between the two other players in that act and said, "Hey, I'm a ghost. I have a question." You open the final door. Are you ready to open the final door?
Right.
We're at the gate.
June
Open
Mermaid.
the door.
June Mermaid. Fuck.
Open the door. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris. So we're in the Goliath and it's going down. You're aware of that, right?
No, I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
I just thought something was
You've
funny.
got your legs in like a fucking 45-degree angle and you say you're fine.
I just thought of something that was funny.
Okay. You want to tell me what it was? Or you just going to laugh at it a little more?
I can tell
You
you.
Get it out? Is this about taking a shit? Do you take a shit?
No.